and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Amy, and today I am going to be bringing you one of my Foundation Friday videos. Today we are going to be reviewing the Estee Lauder Double Wear Maximum Cover Foundation. Now, I have used all of the Estee Lauder, well, not all of them, there's like the nude fresh wear one that I haven't used, but in terms of like the original Estee Lauder kind of double wear range, I have reviewed Double Wear Light on this channel. I used Double Wear, the original, quite heavily for a couple of years, and then I bought this one around about 6 months ago. So this is like camouflage makeup for face and body. It's like you can cover tattoos with it, it sets waterproof, it's really high coverage, but a really creamy consistency that for me personally is way better than the original Double Wear. It looks a lot more skin-like, a lot fresher on the skin, and for me it lasts longer as well. I have mine in the shade 1N1 Ivory Nude, so this is going to be very light and is probably not going to match me because I was terrible at picking shades about 6 months ago and would rather be pale than orange, so that's why that's happened. But anyway, we'll dive straight into it. I've already primed my skin with the L'Oreal Infallible Mattifying Primer. I am really liking this primer actually. It's really quite liquidy and quite fluidy, and it feels really nice. It's almost something that I could wear kind of just on its own on like a really no makeup day. So this foundation, I can't remember exactly. I think at the time when I bought it, it had about 24 different shades, which isn't brilliant, isn't the worst that we've seen. They do go quite pale, I will say that. I'm not sure how they fare on the deeper spectrum. It is a very long lasting foundation, so it's better for those with oilier skin, those that are looking for like really good coverage that's going to last like a really long time. This is kind of things that I've heard people use on their wedding day and things like that. So it just says apply sparingly and blend, remove with any Estee Lauder makeup remover. As per usual, 30 ml of product, we get an SPF 15 in there, and it's just a squeezy tube as with the Double Wear Light packaging. So as with all of my foundation reviews, I'm going to apply one side with a sponge, one side with a brush, so we can see how it applies with both. So it is a very thick liquid. You can't even see that on my hand. It is there, I promise. It's a very thick liquid verging on a cream, but because it does have that creaminess to it, it blends a lot better into the skin, in my opinion, than the original Double Wear. Just gonna... So I probably put too much on my hand anyway to do just half my face, so this should be entertaining. It's been quite a while since I've used this foundation because back, like, oh god, it is very pale. Back when I bought this foundation, it was probably about a year ago that I bought this. And I was really insecure with how like my skin looked, and I just wanted full coverage everything because I didn't like how my skin looked, and then I've since learned to kind of build a bridge basically and get over it. That's already taken me about 20 seconds, and already you can tell that I'm about 8 shades lighter on this side of my face. It is blending quite well. It's not really throwing any light, really. It's throwing a little bit across the top of my cheekbone here, but that really is about it. It's going to be a very matte foundation. It's one of the ones that I pull out if I have like a really long day and I can't be bothered taking loads of product with me. But in terms of like powder and like concealer and stuff, it's one of the things that is in a very similar realm to kind of MAC Studio Fix Fluid in terms of its longevity. I'm not sure how well this is sitting across my nose. I am having to add a second layer. Well, there we go. That took literally no time at all. Already you can tell I'm like many shades lighter on this side of my face, but you know, that's something we can rectify with a little bit of bronzer. I have used bugger all products, like not even half the products that I dispensed onto the back of my hand. I'm going to have to get rid of quite a lot of this on this side of my face, and I've shaded out quite a lot, and you can still see like a discernible colour difference in my face. At the moment, because I haven't done like the full like put it on with a trowel, it's definitely not full coverage, but it's definitely like a medium plus. Like you couldn't shade this out really unless like on its own, unless you mixed it with a moisturizer or like mixed it in with a serum or something. It's got way too much pigment in it, but I love this foundation, so I'm alright with that. At the moment, even with the sponge, it is definitely not throwing a huge amount of light, so if you like a glowy kind of skin fresh foundation, no, this is not going to be the one for you. There are other ones within the Estee Lauder Double Wear range that are going to be suited to you a lot better than this one. This is probably a foundation that's definitely made for your legitimately oily skinned girls, oily combination girls that have got a lot of pigmentation issues, or you've got like tattoos and stuff you want to cover. It's not sitting the best across my nose. I'm not sure how well it's working with that primer, but I'll go in with my brush side now. And it's been a while since I've worn this foundation, so I honestly can't remember which side sits better, to be fair. Yeah, like I've had this big scar and it's almost completely like washing it out entirely. It does have a bit of a weird smell to it, I have just noticed. It does almost, I can't even put my finger on it, but it does smell a little bit weird. So that, I've used all the product that was on the back of my hand, but it's probably twice as much foundation I would normally use, and obviously it definitely does not match me, but that's fine, I'm not going outside today. My skin is looking really quite blank at this point, so depending on what look you're wanting to go for, I mean, you can obviously you're going to need to add some colour back into your face, but probably just because the shade isn't fabulous for me at this point. I will say one caveat: when you are talking about this level of coverage, when you are talking about a product that is this densely pigmented, that is literally going to blank you out entirely, it is really, really imperative that you get a really, really, really good, like, dead-on shade match. So if you tan all the time, you need to get a colour that matches your tan 100%. If this is going to be an everyday foundation for you, it wouldn't be for me, but if it was going to be an everyday foundation for you, it's imperative that you make sure that you get that colour match. Otherwise it's just going to look ridiculous, because you can't, you're buying it for the level of coverage, you're buying it for the lasting ability, and if you try and add anything to change the colour, you're not going to get either of those benefits from it. At the moment, there is not really any difference between either side of my face. It already almost looks like I've powdered, which I haven't. So this is definitely going to be a long-lasting one on me. But yeah, I mean, at the moment we're looking pretty good. Like, there's not really, it's sat okay across my nose. It looks better on the side with the sponge, in my opinion. And I think generally foundations of this type sit better with a sponge application, just because they are so dry. Well, they're not dry, it's quite creamy texture, it's just the nature of the foundation. I think they lend themselves better to a sponge application. So yeah, it's sat really well across my chin, really well across my forehead. It doesn't look any different really across the two sides, so I think this definitely does have some setting down power. So yeah, I'm now going to go apply the rest of my makeup, make myself look a little bit less ghostly, and I'll check back in with you guys in a bit. BRB. And I am back with a lot more makeup on my face than I normally have on. I do feel like I have a lot of makeup on my face at the moment, partly because I had to put on so many additional products after the foundation to make it look like I have any sort of dimension to my skin at all, and partly because I've just put more makeup on. I feel at this point right now, because I have powdered and used setting spray and the foundation has set completely, my skin does look very matte across like my nose and my T-zone, and around my nose, dare I say, it almost looks a little bit dry. However, I know from experience, particularly with how oily my skin is, that the foundation is going to look better the longer that I wear it. So that doesn't necessarily concern me at the moment. However, obviously if you were new to this foundation, that potentially could be a concern for you. I know just from experience that this foundation will get better the longer I wear it. So it is currently, I don't even know what time, I think it's about 11:30. So I'm going to go get on with the rest of my day and I'll check back in with you guys in a bit. Hello again, I am back. I have got my jacket on because I've literally just come in from outside. But it is currently coming up on 4 o'clock, so I've had this on for about 4.5 hours now. And this is what we are looking like at this point in the day. I think, you know, all in all, we're looking pretty good at the moment. You can see what I mean when I said that it will look better the longer that you wear it. I feel that it looks a lot more natural, a lot more skin-like at this precise moment. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, it's lasted really well. It's not come off anywhere like with my mask or anything at all, so it really does set. It doesn't budge, this foundation. So I'm pretty impressed with it at the moment so far. Obviously I've used this for years. I'm going to keep it on for the rest of the day and I'll check back in with you guys in a bit. Hey guys, so it is coming up on 10 o'clock now, so I've had this foundation on for about 10.5 hours. And this is kind of where we're at the 10.5 hour mark. My nose is quite shiny. I have had a mask on at a couple of points during today. But really, other than across my nose, where frankly if I were to take a bit of blotting paper and some powder it would look brand new, the rest of my face looks almost identical to when I first applied it this morning. So really like top marks there. I think it has oxidized slightly from when I first applied it because I don't look ridiculously pale as I did earlier, so that's something as well at least. Like I said, I really enjoy this foundation. It is very expensive. I don't know if it's something that I would repurchase if I finished, because I found other formulas and things that I do prefer or work better on my skin tone. But I do love this foundation. I do think it's worth you guys like trying to get a sample or going in and getting shade matched, which is really important with like a foundation of this level of pigment. But you know, anyway, that's been my review of Estee Lauder Double Wear Maximum Cover. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video. If you have, hit the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to turn the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and give this video a big thumbs up so more people can find it. And other than that, I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.